G'day everyone, welcome back again. G'day everyone, welcome to a new podcast. It's about Battlefield. It's called... No, damn. Uh, G'day everyone, welcome to Power On Podcast, the podcast that's all about Battlefield. Now, my name is Footy and I'm joined on the first ever podcast episode with MG Live. Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you, my friend.
How you?
Thank you very much.
Good to have you aboard here on this first episode of Power On. So we're talking today about Battlefield 2042. So we've seen the new season that's just come out. The trailer, I should say. The trailer's just come out. What are your thoughts on that so far?
Well, I mean, it can, like I say, like with trailers, you're not really getting the full experience from the trailer, because we've seen trailers in the past where they might be all fancy. You might see, because end of the day, trailers is meant to be showing the best parts of the content.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I like it because it just shows you what we're gonna get, and it shows you weapons, it shows you maps, it shows you different kind of skins. And I think for me, I think it's one of the best trailers they've done for Battlefield 2042. I don't know what your thoughts about that. I do think it's one of the best trailers because it just shows you the content that we're gonna get.
Yeah, like when I saw that, I was like, it looks like one thing that EA can do is really create a good trailer. The trailer is something that resonates to a lot of players. The fast pace, the action, the guns, and all that sort of stuff, and it really brings you into the video. However, one thing that I kind of looked at is the content that was brought out in this trailer, right? One thing that really stuck to me was the map. So they're releasing a new map in quotation marks, which is not really an old map. It's a map from a previous Battlefield that has just kind of been revamped, basically.
Yeah.
So nothing new in that new update that's so well done, so amazing that you're like, oh my god, this is brand new. It's just one thing that comes to me and says the development team has basically been halved or cut even further than half, and basically there's a skeleton team running it, and that's what they could do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the new map is called Reclaimed. But I do agree with you. I think what it could be down to is I think a lot of the focus as well is maybe on the next Battlefield as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, they're still going to do content on Battlefield 2042. But I do believe they are really working towards that next Battlefield. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we're not getting that much content. Because I think if you look for 2042, ever since the first season, is it like 1-2 maps each season? Something like that. I remember back in the day, especially during the Battlefield Premium days. Oh my god, Premium. I want that back. We used to get like 5 maps a season.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 maps a season. We're not just getting that, are we? And I think it's so disappointing. And I mean, we're not the only ones that's saying that. The entire Battlefield community is saying the exact same thing: is where is the content? I mean, I'm still looking forward to it, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of new content for 2042 because we need it. Oh my god, we need content.
Yeah.
I just think it's a letdown that we're not seeing that amount of content that we used to get in old Battlefield titles.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like a lot of players are looking at this straight away and going, is that it? What? Is, like, okay, so going back to where I was before. Basically, I was looking at that and going, okay, so this is it. This is basically skeleton crew. It's just keeping it alive while they move all the developers onto the next one, right? But how long can they actually, hold on to this game? In terms of, how long will it be before they release the new Battlefield?
Well, I think we probably going to hear something possibly maybe next year, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a teaser. Because I think what Battlefield normally do, they do normally release information early or a potential leak. We all hear about these leaks. But at the end of the day, I think it is down to the studios that actually leak the information, just get the hype up.
Yeah.
But I think maybe sometime early next year, at the earliest, that we might see something about the next Battlefield. Let's go back to 2042 for a minute, and if ever since, I mean, the thing what I don't like is when they're putting the trailers or even the devs on Twitter saying this. Oh, look what we've done. We've done some changes to this map. We've done some rework to that map.
Hmm.
Claiming like it's some kind of like brand new content, but it's not, is it? They're just reworking some of the old maps from Battlefield 2042.
Hmm.
And I don't like that. I think we even mentioned it in the trailer about, was it one of the maps have done some reworks? I can't
Yeah.
remember what map it was.
Mm,
The reworked for.
I think.
But
I think it was the desert map.
oh yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what it is. Yeah, but it's the way like they sort of portray it, like saying, oh, like make it like it's a brand new map, but it's not, is it?
No.
It's just a rework, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
I want to see new content.
Yeah.
If you go to Battlefield forums, everyone on these forums, on social media, even in their Discord, are complaining about a lack of content.
Yeah, like I completely agree. I feel like when you look at a revamp, and then what it showed in the video was that they're like, we have reworked it, and it's like we've taken the sand off the streets, and we've got some streets there now. We've put some more barricades up, and then you can go underground now for like 100 meters, and then that like it's just like, okay, that's it doesn't really fit the narrative of trying to keep people. It's like doing the bare minimum to try save
Does that
face.
show you like maybe like you said, the small team? Because they're rather doing the reworks or revamping the maps or doing new maps. Does that tell you like, yeah, at this moment in time it's just a small team that's working on 2042 while the rest of it is working on the new Battlefield?
100%. I can tell you right now that those reworks are like, in terms of making bigger and new maps, that's the easiest thing. It's revamping, just taking parts of the map and just adjusting them. That's what the small team can do, which brings out more stuff that you can play that map over and over again because there's a new underground tunnel sort of thing, and then add like weapons and stuff. Like weapon balancing is really hard.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree.
Yeah. So like, but to be honest, they brought in what, 3 weapons? They brought in 3 weapons, and then they've got grenades. So like,
I think the weapons that we're getting is the GEW 46
exactly, and that's the
CE bar and the BFE 50, which is a pistol.
Yeah. So I mean, nothing really amazing, if you know what I mean. Like it's what can I say? It's like a rifle. So we got an assault rifle, a bolt action rifle, and a sidearm.
Yeah.
Okay. For an update, that's pretty, small. And then you've got the spring grenade, which is basically a one that bounces and explodes from the ground. You've got an anti-tank grenade, which I thought this should have been in at the start of the game. This is what a lot of things I like. How many times have you walked past a vehicle and thought, I would have loved a grenade right now?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
And then you've got the mini grenade, which is like literally a smaller, lighter grenade that you can throw further and faster. It doesn't do as much damage as a normal grenade, but you can throw it a lot further. But to be honest, when you look at your throwing distance of the grenade, you think is that all I can throw? Like a lot of other games, you can throw a grenade a lot further than what you
Yeah.
can do in Battlefield.
I think it's good that we're getting like different kinds of grenades, because if you look
Yeah.
at other shooters, it's normally the guns themselves, the wet, But I think getting different types of grenades I think, is great.
Hmm.
Um, but I would like to see, for me, is more new weaponry.
Hmm.
Because the thing is, this is set in 2042, so literally you can sort of like make up stuff really, just a little bit. It's not that far into the future, but you can create some out of this world weaponry, for 2042, and I would love them maybe to try that. You know,
Yeah.
I can't see it. I don't see it,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But I mean, listen, we're not like bashing Battlefield because we love Battlefield, you know.
Yeah.
But getting one map and literally getting three weapons, like there's not much there.
Yeah. It's kind of like a kick while you're down. You know, you're excited to see what's being added, and
Mm,
then you're like, is that it? it's, I know it's really hard to, um, get an audience which is big and vast in terms of what
yeah,
they want and what they desire. However, I know you just look at that from a point of view and go, I think this means this could be, if not the second to last season of Battlefield.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, because like they're bringing out the squad management feature as well, which is
yeah. I've seen
basically
that
should have come out from the start, where
from the
all
beginning.
all the other titles have squads. So like, why was this left out is beyond me. Um, but yeah, like
That's I've never understood that. Like a lot of amazing features that was missing from the beginning. You're wondering why that is. I mean, the rumors was there, weren't they? Like this game was going to be a battle royale only game, weren't they? I mean, the rumors was there. I don't know how true it was,
mm,
and then they ditched that and literally tried to revert back to the old sort of Battlefield style.
yeah.
Is that the reason why a lot of these features wasn't there at the beginning? I don't know.
Do you think they rushed it way too quickly?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, you can tell it was rushed. There was so many problems. There was issues. I mean, firstly, on PC, a lot of people just couldn't even boot up the game. It
Yeah.
literally just crashed. Even on Xbox, it crashed. On PlayStation, it crashed. Um, there was graphical problems on various graphics cards. Even on Xbox,
Hmm.
I was having problems on Xbox. I mean, I have the game on PC, and I couldn't even run the game, at first, within maybe the first few weeks until they actually patched it. So I think they rushed it there. But I mean, I don't think it's fully down to Dice themselves. I think it's
Hmm.
all the way from the top, from like within EA themselves at the top. I literally put the pressure, the demand on the studio themselves.
Hmm.
But I do think with these missing features and the lack of content, I'm wondering if that rumor was true. Like it was going to be a battle royale experience only.
I mean, that could have been, you'd think it would have done so because they're seeing how successful Modern Warzone, sorry, was having. The battle
Mm,
royales and all that.
yeah,
You'd think Battlefield would have tended to chuck one of those in, just to bring some more people over, because I feel like in some aspects this was taking quite a lot of players from Battlefield as well.
yeah.
Um, but like, yeah, I don't know. It was definitely rushed too quickly. Like I was looking at some bugs earlier today, and one of them was the jet fighter. The jet fighter was hitting
Oh, the
the
Jetfire.
building.
Yeah.
And it wasn't crashing. It was just bouncing off a building, and you're like, oh, thank God I
But
didn't die there. And
but when you go back to, like, for instance, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, like the way that game looks compared to 2042
mm,
is you just can't compare them. Like it looks so better, the Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. You know, which tells
Yeah.
me again, which I felt like not just me, but a lot of reviewers out there just feel that it did feel rushed. The way the game looked, where the game presented itself.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. It feels like this was so rushed that they didn't get in even the basic stuff, like squads. It wasn't QA'd. It wasn't bug tested at all.
Mm,
Um, well, it was, but it was done to the most minimist, team.
yeah,
And then usually they have a lot of what are they called when they just they have to do so many hours in a day to get stuff done.
yeah.
Um, but like I mean, look at how they left Battlefield 1. I was looking at SteamDB. I was playing this last year actually.
Mm,
November, I think, or October. Battlefield 1 was like $5 on Steam.
wow.
The amount of players that were playing Battlefield 1 was insane. It was like I think got up to 65,000, 70,000 people playing.
Ooh, God.
Concurrent players, and I was like, "Holy moly!" And the servers were full. People were like having the time of their life because Battlefield One was so well done at the end. They left it in a good state, and they didn't keep supporting it, which was really crazy to me because it
Yeah.
was such a different game that I don't believe there was any game that was challenging it. There was no other World War One shooter.
No.
Um, the graphics were amazing. The atmosphere was amazing. Trench warfare, cavalry charges, bayonet charges, the whole shebang. I was hooked on that for like 4 or 5 months afterwards. Like this was such a well done game, and then they left it right. And then another one that also got me confused by what EA was doing was Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now I don't know if you played that.
I played that.
So if you go on and you play now, it's still an amazing game.
Oh,
It's an amazing game in terms of like the droids, the clones. You've got the empire, like the whole shebang is there. The game was left in such a great state, and there's nothing to challenge that or keep players playing Star Wars games. And then they disconnected that, and you're like, sorry, didn't support that, and you're like, hang on. You've got all the Disney movies coming out, all the TV shows.
yeah.
You could have added so much content to this. You could have brought Battlefield 3 out, Battlefront 3 out. You don't know if that's still happening. Probably not. I mean, it's been like I think 3 or 4 years since they discontinued supporting Battlefront 2.
Mm.
But like EA, I don't know. Sometimes it's a bit strange what they're doing there. They're
Thing
all over the
is,
place.
it's a business, right?
Yeah.
EA want to make money. Can you imagine how much money they would have made if they kept that going in terms of content during the movies and the TV series? They
Yeah.
would make so much money with new content
Yeah.
or
I'm-
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It literally does not make sense.
Like you've got. I've literally like thinking of how much stuff that's been created in the last 2 years of Star Wars that you could have added. You got Obi-Wan TV show, you got Mandalorian, you've got the new Ahsoka coming out, you've got like Rebels, you've got like all these the Bad Batch. Like I just keep sending them out because there were so many TV shows and movies coming out that you're like, this could have been added. This could have been added. Oh, that would have been great if this was added. So like, I don't know.
Well, I think that just shows you the mismanagement on the top in EA with some of their biggest games. You
Yeah.
know, Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Battlefield. You know, that just tells me like they don't know what direction they want to take with some of these games.
Yeah.
Which is concerning. It is really concerning because like so we've seen it with Battlefield now. Like there's no direction for the franchise at this moment in time. But I want to give another question to you.
Yeah.
Do you think 2042? Do you think that was a game that DICE wanted to make? If you said Battlefield 1, great experience, great game. That tells me that that studio was dedicated in making Battlefield 1. I mean, do you think 2042 was a game that DICE wanted to make?
Look, I'm sure they would have jumped on it to complete a game of this scale and magnitude, and like futurism and all that sort of stuff. I do feel like a studio like that would take that on board, because it is a shooter game, FPS. It's not too different in that aspect. It's just like weapons, like gadgets, new planes and all that, tanks sort of things, right? Yeah, so I don't think so. I don't think so. It's very interesting to think about, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were just given too short a time to complete this.
Yeah, I think possibly yeah. I think yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought within the season 5, we've also got the new Battle Pass, which is going to come with 49 skins,
Yeah.
specialists, weapons, and vehicles. So 49 skins. I mean, that's a lot actually. So how many skins have we got previously from other season passes? I don't think we've had that many. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think that if you're into that, I think that's fantastic for you guys. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of skins, especially for Battlefield.
Yeah.
But I think it's great to see, really. Just add a bit of color to your weaponry. I've also going to be getting new 20% season XP booster. So that's 20%. We're also going to get persistent service for 7 days. We're also going to get 5 legendary skins as well.
Ooh.
That'd be interesting, actually.
What classifies as a legendary skin to you? Like, does it need to be gold, or is it the amount of time they put into the camouflage? Like, they do swirls, or they add like shapes and maybe characters on there, or what do they do to make it legendary skin?
That's a good question, actually. Oh my god, that's wow. I think amount of effort and detail the dev have put into the skin, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't know. Actually, that's a good question because I've never been the biggest fan of like gold, like skins, or diamond skins. I've never been a big fan of those, to be honest.
Yeah,
but maybe the viewers, maybe they can decide.
Yeah.
What would they like to see for legendary skins?
Yeah, let us know in the comment section below to see what your thoughts are on skins. And is it because they take more time into creating these skins that it's classified as legendary, or they add characters, or you know what? Let us know in the comment section below. But yeah, like that's one thing. I think skins are the easiest things to do. That's for sure. Yeah. In terms of like wraps, like if you wrap a car, the wraps around cars, I think are really easy to do, because I'm sure there's like a basic model that they can just put that like new pattern over, and then there it's done.
Yeah.
So I feel like the skins are quite easy to do.
And also as well, it's just to get people to get back into Battlefield. Maybe play a few games and try to get that. I want that skin. It's to get people to come back and try to and try to get the skins that you want. And I think that I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of protecting skins, but I know a lot of people out there who love skins. If you look at games like for Fortnite, Apex, even Call of Duty, everyone loves skins. So hopefully you get some people coming back and try to earn those skins, which would be great for Battlefield.
Yeah. No. Just a little point on before we end the skin talk. I just feel like I don't think it would bring too many people into this. It'd probably be the hardcore people, the skin hunters and all that. Yeah. But nothing huge, I think. It would just get the whales in to purchase them.
That's it, yeah.
But honestly, I don't think it would bring too many new players back in. But yeah. The new map. Have you seen the new map? Well,
I've seen it.
The revamp of the new map.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on that so far?
I think end of the day we do need new maps, which I've said before. I'm liking it. You know, I'm presuming there's going to be some choke points. Because if you look previously, there has been some choke points in maps where you can literally get just one guy that can literally just dominate
Mm,
the other team.
yeah.
I'm expecting some choke points. I'm also expecting that we're going to get a lot of
Right.
areas that's going to be dedicated for snipers.
Yeah.
Because I think end of the day, sniping is huge with online shooters. If you look at Call of Duty, if you look at Apex, even on Fortnite, you know, I think they want to bring that audience back to Battlefield. Because if you
Mm,
look at previous Battlefield games, especially Battlefield 1 and 5, you know, if you look at all the videos online, you know, a lot of sniper, quick scoping, etc. And I'm presuming we're going to see a lot of that in this new map. Um, just by looking at just by watching the trailer, we are going to see a lot of that. Which I think, I mean, I'm not the biggest sniper fan, but I know yet again a lot of people out there that do love that way of playing.
mm,
So hopefully we're going to get that in Reclaim, and also I think there's some good areas for vehicle warfare because I think some of the roads really reminds me of old Battlefield games.
mm,
That we're going to see a lot of good areas for vehicles, especially for tanks. And also there's a lot of cover actually. If you look at um some of the older maps in 2042
yeah.
is there's not much cover to protect yourself from vehicles. In this, there seems to be a lot of places where you can dig down and hide from tanks, etc. So I think that is me a plus for the amount of times I've been killed by tanks, especially up my backside. I think that's yeah, I think that's great. I think so. There's a lot of good elements. Of course, I can't really say much because I really want to get my hands on the map itself. But no, I like it. I think they've done a good job from what I've seen from the trailer.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with how the map looks. There's a lot of choke points, which is cool. There's a lot of action, but that is because it was an old game, right? It's already been
Yeah.
played through. They know how it works. They know how it, players play this map because it's a previous older map. So, um, you know, it's well done. I really do hope because there is a lot of vehicles. I do hope that it doesn't take 5 shots to take out a tank.
Oh,
It's just how irritating is that? You've you've got two or three ammo, rockets in your backpack per se, and you
mm,
use them all on a tank, and the tank does not budge. It just looks at you and takes you out, and then it goes back a little bit, repairs, and it's back to full health. That's one thing that really grinds my gears. That
well, what I think maybe the reason beyond that is they want to try to get people to teamwork, take out tanks.
yeah,
I'm wondering that's the reason why.
but I mean, how
If
many
you're
engineers do you have on your team with rockets? Like
not
that
much,
that
not much.
that's the thing. Why I think they also bring out the anti-tank grenades.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see how much damage they do because that's one thing that really annoys me is that the rockets do no damage to the tanks. So
Well,
having some anti-tank grenades that might help it out.
is it the grenade launcher? I have taken out a few tanks with a grenade launcher. Um, Not many, but I have a few times.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think. But I'm just wondering, maybe it is maybe down to maybe teamwork, possibly.
Hmm.
I don't know really. Like, because we've seen, haven't we? Especially in 2042, the lack of teamwork
Yeah.
in this game compared to the others, and I think Dice knew that from the start. I think within the first few weeks, they know there was a problem for 2042 with the lack of teamwork. I'm wondering if they are implementing, like for instance, making tanks harder to take down unless you use teamwork
Hmm.
to get the tanks out.
I mean,
Which
oh yeah, sorry, finish your.
I'm not complaining about that.
Hmm.
I do get where you're coming from, where literally you're using all your um, rockets to take out a tank, and it's still, running around killing people. But I agree where you're coming from with that.
Hmm. Yeah, do you think that's why they brought in the squad management feature now?
Well, it
they're
should have been
like,
there from the start, to be honest. But
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah, I think.
it took 5 seasons.
Well, like I say, I think they know, like, Battlefield
Mm,
has always been about teamwork. It's not like Call of Duty one man army. It's always
yeah,
been about teamwork. Since the very first Battlefield, and I think I'm wondering that's what we're seeing in terms of like I say, with the management, the team management feature, and also with, like I said, with taking out tanks. I think they want people to teamwork, because that's been the major complaint. I think one of the major complaints with this Battlefield. You
yeah,
know,
no, no,
so yeah, I think that's what it is really.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. I think it's going to be interesting to see how all this stuff works in the next season, which is out in 3 days, the 6th of June. If I'm not wrong, that it should be
7th of June.
yeah, 7th of June, is it?
Yeah.
Bugger. One more day more. Oh yeah, it's at the top here. June 7th, 2023. Wednesday at 12 UTC. Oh, that's pretty good then.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good actually. Yeah, which I think that's a Wednesday.
Oh yeah, Wednesday, June the
Seven-
7th.
Yeah.
And then season 5 will kick off at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 5 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. BST time, which is British Summer Time.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Wow.
didn't know that.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's going to be interesting. So did you know that? So they just announced that they have just confirmed. Sorry, I should say there won't be a new specialist in Battlefield 2042 Season 5. I'm not sure how that
Really?
affects you.
Okay, that kind of
I mean,
sucks.
I mean, have you really been focused on the specialist classes?
At the beginning, I was. I
Yeah,
think towards the end, not much, to be honest.
yeah.
But I know that, yeah, again, there's people out there that do
Hmm.
like the specialists. But for me, yeah, I'm not really bothered, to be honest. Now, I think I just go into Battlefield and just try to enjoy my Battlefield experience. Doesn't matter who I play as, really.
Yeah. No, I agree there. I feel like when I first got onto Battlefield, I was like, oh my god, what does this guy do? Oh, what does she do? Oh, da da da.
Yeah.
And then now it's like I know my guy. I stick with one class, if not two. And I'm like, oh, I'm not choosing her. I don't like him. You know, that shield's silly or that guy's slow. So, yeah, I understand why they don't bring out another class because I don't
Yeah.
think they need it. Yes. So they've done a lot of general fixes and options with audio, AI soldier improvements as well, and Battlefield
Yeah.
Portal, specialists and gadgets. So there are quite a few bug fixes here. So just quickly running through some of them. Fixed an issue where players in solo co-op were being placed in separate squads when joining on friends.
Yeah, I've had a few issues. Yeah, I've had that before.
Oh, that sucks. You like join as friends. You're like, oh, I'm in Alpha, you in Bravo. It's not
I
a
think
good.
it happened to you before when I tried to join you, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think, yeah, when I tried to join you, it put me in a different team.
Oh, well, that sucks. Did you even get into the game?
Oh, no, it put me on to do a complete different server.
Oh, that's
You
weird.
remember? I
Yeah,
was playing in a complete different server.
that's true. Yes, I remember that. You joined a
Yeah.
squad which they just completely went to a different server.
Yeah.
Okay. AI and soldier improvements. The Penguins have been tampering with the Ranger payload, and it will now take more damage from infantry projectiles. Not the Penguins, the
Ooh.
Ranger.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't. That wasn't my priority, to be honest. But hey, any improvement is a plus, I guess.
Yeah. Fixed issues that resulted in AI soldiers not trying to avoid some grenades. It says don't ask.
Wow.
Okay. So there's a lot of AI soldiers. So they've got quite a few bug fixes on the AI.
Yeah.
Which is a bit interesting to say the least. Is that becoming more of a thing now? A lot more AI is in games because less players are playing.
Yeah,
Um,
didn't we see something like that in Titanfall? Didn't we? They used to have AI
yes.
players in there.
Yeah.
Um, but I do agree. Like, I mean, I don't see there's nothing wrong with it. Adding AI into an online game itself, because at the end of the day, we all know Battlefield has got the lack of players
Yeah.
compared to the other games. But just Call of Duty have AI players in there.
And Call of Duty, yeah, there are AI.
I think most games do it nowadays. I
Yeah.
think, because I think what it is as well is once a game is sort of like dying in terms of losing players, because it maybe if a new Battlefield game comes out, if people want to come back and try and enjoy 2042, they can still get a match, even though it's just full of AI players. I
Yeah.
think that's one reason why they do maybe add AI into online games, just to keep the game going for many more years. Which is yeah, again is another plus. So I'm not complaining there, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, there's there's really good things about having AI, and that's to make the game a lot, feel a lot more fuller.
Yeah,
And then there's another one where it's AI, and there's like sometimes when you kind of learn how the AI play, there's not
yeah.
much of a challenge. So that's one thing.
But do you think the AI should have like a learning sort of system so it learns from players, so it's
So like
constantly
AI,
changing? Yeah,
that would be pretty. I wouldn't be surprised. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing games with AI learning how players play. But there should be a limit on how much they develop. Because imagine like AI playing against the best players and learning from all of them, they'd just be undefeatable.
well, I think that's available because I don't know what game it is. I think it might be Forza Horizon. I'm sure that's got a similar system.
Yeah.
And I know there's a game that has AI learning, which actually learns from the players. And I can't remember. I'm sure it was Forza. If not, hopefully someone can tell us in the comment section below. But I'm sure that tech is out there for games. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I read it somewhere a few years back. I don't know if it's true or not. But that'd be awesome for online shooters with AI. My God, that'd be so good.
But
Look,
like, I think it would get too good though. You need to like have a level of like how much it can learn. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine
it'd be
like,
like fighting Terminator.
oh yeah, exactly. You'd be like, oh, I don't like this. I don't want to play anymore. So
Start playing the Terminator
yeah,
music.
yeah. Like, oh, I'm watching the Terminator over and over again destroy me. You know, they know where the spawn points are. They,
Oh,
like,
I think that would be a pain in the backside, to be honest.
yeah,
But I think it'd be good maybe for campaigns actually. That'd be pretty good actually. Which yet again, which I am quite upset that we don't have a campaign in 2042.
yeah,
'Cause do you remember all the reveal trailers? You know,
yeah,
all the trailers for 2042 before the game launched. There's a backstory there for 2042. If anyone is watching like this, right, literally go back, watch all those trailers. You was thinking, why didn't they not make a campaign for this? Because it's so. Have you seen the trailers? Haven't you?
yeah, yeah,
It's so good. So many great characters. Why have they not made a campaign
yeah.
for 2042?
I I think in the end of the day, it all because I don't know, I don't remember what Battlefield it was, but they 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 did the storyline and it was just utter crap. I think it was Battlefield 4, was it? They did the story and it was like,
I
I,
might be, yeah.
and it was so bad. It was like just focus on the multiplayer. You know,
Mm,
that's why I think they've gone down this road and then just focused on multiplayer because let's be honest, you don't go to Battlefield games to play the campaigns.
I
I think it's
agree.
more multiplayer. So they, unless it's Bad Company, Bad Company was a different story, and same with like Battlefield 1. You know,
Yeah.
I can't remember. Did Battlefield 5 have a campaign?
It had it's like sort of like mini stars, I think, something like that. I can't remember what they called it. It's like sort of like mini stars, which I
Okay,
think was all right, I guess.
okay, because like, yeah. So, Battlefield 1 had this. No, Battlefield 1 had the stories, right?
I think both of them did. I
Oh,
think.
they did. Okay, I can't remember
No, I can't really remember actually. I got a man like a goldfish. I can't remember that far back.
Anyway, then they did. That's what I think they did. They just focused on the multiplayer. That's what they're good at, which is fair enough. But like, if you're releasing a game, make sure the multiplayer is good because there's nothing else to support you. You know, there's no single player to help you through.
But yeah, again, that I think it comes from the top.
Yeah.
End of the day, they try to compete with Call of Duty, and I've almost said, DICE here just need to stick to what they're good at. Make
Hmm.
online Battlefield. That's what the Battlefield community wants. But end of the day, the money comes from the top. If they want a campaign, they've got to do a campaign because they're trying to compete. Yeah, again with Call of Duty, which is so annoying because at the end of the day, two totally different games. You got your arcadey shooter with Call of Duty, and you got your sort of your more realistic, gritty feel of Battlefield. But I do agree with you in terms of good campaigns, which was the Bad Company series. So
Yeah.
they can actually make good campaigns.
They
You
can.
know?
They 100% like Battlefield 1 was I think the last one that I remember because if
That was
Battlefield
pretty
5
good.
is I can't remember it. But yeah, Battlefield 1 was fantastic. They brought in the World War 1, they brought the backstories. You've got different campaigns. You've got the Lawrence of Arabia campaign against the Ottoman
Yeah,
Empire. You've got the air pilot. You've got the Australian Gallipoli campaign,
yeah,
and you've got like I think it's Verdun, the French and Verdun or something like that.
yeah. That was it. Yeah,
And like those are fantastic stories because like they because World War One hadn't been done much. That's where they excelled at because it was something that a lot of players were new to. You're not like,
yeah.
oh, this is not World War Two. I'm out of my comfort zone. I don't know anything about this great war, the war to end all wars. So it was really cool to find a little bit more storyline through those. So like you said, they can do great stories and single player maps, single player
Do
campaigns.
you think we'll ever get back to World War One?
Not for a
The
while.
Battlefield franchise.
I don't think so. Not for a very long time.
So, what would you like them to do then? Like in terms for the next Battlefield?
Oof, I think. Oof. See, this is where I go. Okay, so the future. They've done the future here. Well, I mean, would you say 2042 is the future? I'd say it's pretty modern day, right?
Modern slash few years ahead here.
Yeah, like I feel like we've already got these weapons in the world, so it's just they say 20 years ahead. So you've got that. Would you go back to World War Two? I don't think so.
I wouldn't.
I would. Yeah, Battlefield 5 was not good. Like I'm a World War Two fanatic in terms of gameplay and gaming and the
Yeah,
history and all that sort of stuff.
yeah.
It was too. The color palette, for example, was a bit too cartoony for me. I feel like if you put
I
that
agree.
up against Battlefield 1, World War One was really cool, and they left it on such a good ending that I wouldn't mind going back to it. However, I would really like a Bad Company 3.
Oh,
You know, bring that
you're not
storyline
the only
back,
one.
the destructible terrain, blowing up everything that changed the map completely. That's one
Yeah,
thing in this Battlefield that I thought was missing was the destructible terrain. You know,
yeah. I agree with that.
you can blow up one wall, but the wall next to it you can't. Like, huh?
But like I say, like it just shows you that how far ahead in terms of technology that Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2 was. It was so
Yeah,
far ahead of its time in terms of destruction. And they've lost that, because Battlefield got to a point where it was about the destruction.
yeah.
and they got rid of that, you know, and I've never understood why.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause we started to lose it, didn't we? I mean, there was destruction in Battlefield 3, which was good, it was decent. Then it started to degrade in terms of destructions on Battlefield 4. And it got less in Battlefield Hardline,
Yeah.
and then onto Battlefield 1 and 5, now 2042. It just seems to be getting less and less in terms of that feature, this destructible feature.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe they were like. I think this game, maybe, yeah, there might be a lot of, a lot of theories out there about why this happened. Rushed.
You can see it, can't you?
Yeah.
Even in Battlefield 4, which was a really good Battlefield game, there's destruction in that game, but not
Yeah.
as much as it was in Battlefield 3. And Battlefield 3 destruction wasn't as much as in the Bad Company series.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, but I hopefully we get to see that again in the next Battlefield. I mean, the demand is there.
Yeah.
And they said that they do listen to the community.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see something like that. Because listen, I know, like you say, it's difficult, you know. Game development is one of the hardest things to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, we've got all this new tech, and it does take a lot of resources. But there's technology out there right now, where this destruction doesn't have to be local. All this destruction can be done on server side. Because we see that in that new game. What's that new game that's coming out soon? We had the beta. It's developed by ex Battlefield devs.
We are the better. Is it?
No, it's I can't remember the name of it, but I do know the technology is out there. Like, for instance,
Yeah.
I know this is not destruction, but if you look at Titanfall, for instance, the AI in Titanfall was all run from the server side. It wasn't local.
Yeah.
So the technology is there. So I don't see any issues for them implementing that feature. If they're concerned about resources like RAM, CPU, bottlenecks, well, you don't need to be concerned about that anymore, because you can just run the destruction on the server side now. Because at the end of the day, everyone's got the internet connections now. They've got the speeds to be able to actually use that new technology.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get that in the future.
Yeah. No, I really do think so. That they did so well there, and then they kind of disappeared. You know, like why is this going away? I want to know the reason for that. Maybe like there was a bit of a backlash back then, like, oh, there's too much destructibles.
But that's what players enjoyed
Yeah.
about Battlefield.
Yeah.
The destruction.
Mm.
So I don't know, but what I like to talk about, actually, another feature that they removed from Battlefield 5, and that was building defenses.
Oh yeah.
Like, where you could build your
Yeah.
get sandbags. I did the game. I enjoyed that, because at the end of the day, you even got XP for doing that as well.
That's right. That's right. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, Battlefield 5 brought in that repair, because you
Yeah.
know there was a lot of destruction and all this, and you're like, oh, there's no cover out here. Let's rebuild this defense here, you know. And then you're like repaired it, and you're like, cool. Now I've got some defense at least. So yeah,
I think
I do.
when they implemented that, I said this is one of the best features they've added to the Battlefield franchise, and they got rid of it in 2042. Like, what's the reasoning behind that? Like, was the Battlefield community not happy with that feature? Because I enjoyed that feature,
Yeah.
and hopefully, yet again, we get something like that back in the next Battlefield.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, let's go back to that. What would you like to see in the next Battlefield? What sort of era?
Oh, I said we've had World War Two, we've had World War One. I wouldn't mind, maybe, if I mean Modern Warfare. I wouldn't mind, but it's between Modern Warfare or Vietnam.
Ooh.
I can't choose between the both.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say modding, because yeah, end of the day, Battlefield 3 and 4, awesome Battlefield games. And I think that's what they know. That's what the best at is modern. But if not, then I wouldn't mind Vietnam.
Vietnam would actually be cool because a lot of players loved, going back to the Call of Duty series, Black Ops. The
Oh
first
yeah,
2 or 3 Black Ops were just amazing, and people loved them. I loved it. I played all 3 of those, and I thought Black Ops was really fun, and it's definitely up there in terms of my top 5 Call of Duty games. So like going back to Vietnam, doing a Cold War sort of era would be quite interesting to say the least, because I don't think Battlefield has really done a Cold War.
no, no, they haven't. Do you know what? Looking back, they haven't, have they? Really, to be honest, but possibly, yeah. I think that'd be great to see the next Battlefield.
Yeah,
And you talk about that Vietnam, like you talk about like because in that war there was tunnels. So
yeah,
you can imagine like you going into dark tunnels looking for players. Like that would just bring sort of like a fear factor, I think.
yeah.
Walking in dark tunnels. And also back then in Vietnam, the helicopters were so important for um during that war. It was so
Mm.
vital. So I think they can do a lot with the
Drop in, drop out
helicopter.
mechanic, right?
Yeah, they could do so much with the vehicles in Vietnam. So hopefully, yeah, I think I'll say Vietnam then.
Okay.
Vietnam first. If they're not doing that, then Modern Warfare.
Okay, I think we'll also ask the audience here, what sort of era would you like to see in the next Battlefield game? I think we've had quite a lot of different eras mentioned here, so it'd be very interesting to see what you would like to have in the next one in the comment section down below. But yeah, any ending thoughts and feelings, MG?
All I can say is like people always ask me, "Oh, you're looking forward to the new season?" I think from what I've experienced from the last few seasons, I'll say I'm in two minds. I
Yeah,
can't say I'm looking forward to it, but I can also say, yeah, I am looking forward to it. Because at the end of the day, we're not getting much content in terms of maps. But at the end of the day, it's well, I say it's a new map, but it is for 2042. So all I can say is I'm looking forward to it. And anyone that's watching, you know what? If you haven't played Battlefield recently, it has improved since launch. Give it a try.
yeah,
It is vastly improved. Yes, there's lack of content, but if you're having fun, actually, a big thing is get a few mates, get a few friends, eye up. That's the best way to
yeah.
experience Battlefield, guys. If you're playing by yourself, I can see why people stop playing Battlefield because at the end of the day, Battlefield is teamwork. So, guys, download it again, and you'll see what I mean. It's vastly improved.
Yeah, I totally agree there. It's definitely one of those games that it tends to go towards playing as a squad. And one
Mm,
of those other games that really shows that is Hell Let Loose. It's really
yeah.
awful playing by
Oh,
yourself, so you definitely need to play with the squad to play these sort of games. So it definitely brings the experience a lot better. So in saying that, Battlefield Season 5 New Dawn, it kicks off on the 7th of June, 12 UTC time. Is it 1 p.m.
yeah.
BTC, British Summertime? And
Mm,
that is episode 1 of Power On. Done. Thanks, MG. Looking
no
forward to the
problem.
next podcast. If you guys like the podcast, hit that like button. Comment down what your thoughts are about this. And yeah, thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya!